Hi everybody, this is Monday, June 15th, and we are going to do word problems. Here we go. So we are going to use some of our past modules and talk about word problems and solve using MOLE, M-O-L-E. Here we go. Our target is I can solve word problems involving the total volume of solid figures composed of two non-overlapping regular prisms. So two different three-dimensional shapes or figures that you will find the volume for each one and then add them together to get your final answer. But the important thing is that we're talking about word problems this week and next week, and we're going to get into that in a little bit. So first, have your materials ready, your pencil and paper. For fluency, remember to keep practicing your math facts, and today we are going to do the multiples of 6. So ready, begin. 6, 12, 18, 24, 30, 36, 42, 48, 54, 60, 66, 72. Okay, so make sure when you answer word problems that you mark up the problems that help you best solve the word problem. And by what I mean by that is we want to use M-O-L-E. This isn't the first time that I've mentioned this. I have also put this on other videos to you, and I will keep referring back to that. So let's remember in the past lesson that we are finding the volume, and volume equals length times width times height of each three-dimensional figure and then adding their volumes together. So this is just a brief review of what we've done in a past lesson, that length times width times height. So for this first figure you would say 3 times 4 times 5, and in the second figure you would say 4 times 4 times 10, and then you would take the volume from this top one and then the volume from the bottom one and add them together. Okay, so when we are answering word problems, we need to remember our formulas and how to answer the question that they're asking. So here we go. Let's look at this first one, and I'll do this for you. We're going to mark up the question, we're going to organize and label our work and solve, and then we are going to explain how we got it, or restate the question and fill in our answer. So as you can see, I underlined all of our important things that we need to know. Not every word, just the important things. We have a rectangular tank with a base of 24 centimeters squared. Remember when we say area, that's already including the length and the width. So you've already got this part taken care of. And it's an oil to a depth of 9 centimeters. When I say depth, they say how deep. Okay, so that's your height of this here. When they said it's 9, I marked it over here from top to bottom is 9. The oil and water separated into 2 levels, and the oil rise to the top, and they said that was 4 centimeters. So how much is left from the bottom part? And we'll get to that in a minute. If the thickness of the oil layer is 4 centimeters, what is the volume of the water? So this part here, I'm going to label it for you. This part here is the oil. The bottom is your water, and I'm going to make it short by saying H2O, the scientific elements for water. Okay, so here's the oil, here's the water part. So from here down, we want to find out what that is. Well, from top to bottom, that was 9. The oil was 4, so we need to subtract these two. That's why I have 9 minus 4 equals 5. Okay, so this part here, the height of this is 5. That's why I have it labeled. Okay, so now to answer the question, what is the volume of the water? Again, we're using volume equals length times width times height. We already know length times width is 24 because it said centimeters squared. So we know that these two are the area times the height will give you the volume. So we've got 24 times 5 was for the water. And when we multiply the two, we've got 120 centimeters cubed. You say cubed when we're talking about volume. Okay, our next one, let's try this together. You can pause this and try to figure this out once I get done reading it for you, and come back and we can go over it together. So remember, for this problem we need to find all the volumes of all three rectangles. So we've got A, B, and C. And then you're going to add them all together. So mark up your problems. Don't forget. So our first one, for A, is down here. We have 13 from top to bottom here. This is 3, and this is 3. So all of these on the sides are 3. All of them. This is a 3. This is a 3. This is a 3. Their sides are all 3. Okay. All the way up and down is 13. Okay, so we need to figure out, this one is a little bit higher than these two. How are we going to figure this out? This part, again, they're saying this is 3 and this is 3. Okay, so look at A. The image below represents 3 planters. They're all filled with dirt, soil. Find the total volume of all 3 planters. Let's look at planter A first. Okay, so here we go. Planter A is 14 by 3 by 4. 14 by 3, and then going up and down here would be 4. That's the height for that one. And you have B. Planter B is 9 inches by 3 by 3. So from here to here is 9. Okay. And this also is 3, we said. And this going up here is 3. So now we really got to think about what C is going to be, because we've got, for the height going up, a total is 13. We've already used 4 and 3. So if we take that away from the total, we will get 6. So this part here will be 6. Okay, and they already told you that this was 3 and this was 3. So now for C, you have 3 times 3 times 6. Okay, so let's look at A. A is going to equal 14 times 4 times, well, let's do that in the right order. I'd like it to stay in the right order. Length times your width is 3 and your height is 4. Okay, go ahead and multiply those. I will give you a second. Okay, you should have come up with 168 inches cubed. Okay, so now I've got B. B, we said, was 9 times 3 times 3. 9 times 3 times 3. Any way you want to multiply them to get you the answer. And 3 times 3 is 9, and 9 times 9 is 81. Again, inches, and we are saying cube because we are doing volume. And now let's do C. C, we said, was 3 times 3 times 6. 3 times 3 times 6. And that should be 3 times 3 is 9, 9 times 6 is 54. Same thing, inches cubed. And then we go ahead and add them all up. Okay, so we have 168 plus 81 plus 54, and you should get 303. And don't forget to label. Inches cubed, and that is your total. It's extremely important, boys and girls, that you actually read the whole problem so that you can see and mark up exactly how to label your diagram. Okay. So our target. I can solve word problems involving the total volume of solid figures composed of two non-overlapping rectangular prisms. In other words, taking two solid figures, finding the volumes of each of them, of the rectangular prisms, and then adding them together. So let's review. Mark up the problem. Organize what you marked up and use them to solve your problem once you've decided what operations to use, or even the formula. 3, label everything. 4, explain. Be able to explain how you got your answer and ask yourself, does this answer make sense? Okay, so I think that was a really good review of a lesson and also a good review for solving word problems. Okay, you guys are doing a great job. Keep up the good work. Miss all of you. We're coming down to the wire, so let's try to do the best we can to end our school year the best way we can.